vai vir pra buscar. Quem que acerta esse tiro primeiro? Bala do Icebox!
A ver cómo retoma MIBR, situación complicada, bajo de Tech, doble de Demon One, se activó el demonio.
A strong start for MIBR on Split. And Fraud, we got the chance to talk about the roster changes and things that Verno is bringing to the table. But I want to ask you more specifically about the meta. We just saw the Tejo Breach that you brought on Split for the first time. There's also a Dragon was saying that Icebox is going to be playing the Waylay at some point. So how do you make of this meta and how it is fitting MIBR?
We think it's great. We just didn't really get much practice against that kind of style, those kinds of comps when we were training in Brazil once we made the team. Once we came to NA, we realized early on that we were a little bit behind on the meta, so we just started to focus on our game, our plans, and trying to make some of these drastic changes. We obviously made drastic changes as far as changing our IGL mid-tournament and stuff, but at the end of the day, at least when it comes to compositions and certain things inside the game, it's always good to rely on comfort. Not saying that you should always do that way, but I felt like that was the best way to give us a chance at kickoff, and we're just going in head first, especially after kickoff. We've been practicing really hard at understanding the meta, and you never know what we'll pull out.
I'm excited to see it. Best of luck.
And there you heard Coach Fraud talking about what the potential of this MIBR is, especially after that 13-7 win on Split. MIBR looked good, but the question is, can they close it out on Icebox 2-0? Guys, I mean, let's actually first reflect on what Fraud was saying about how they went to Brazil. They were a little bit behind on the meta, but now that they're here, and it's crazy to think, even when you're behind, you just have so many resources on that team. They're just so good natural gunpowder.
Yeah, and he's talking about that despite the success they had at Kickoff, right? Yeah. Where they were playing almost all older comps. They weren't really playing any of the Teo. They were one of the few teams who was behind in that way. But here they've kind of shown their own twist, where they're playing the Breach, the Teo, some new stuff, but still leaning into comfort, what works for Icebox, and letting him lock the Jet in a pretty unconventional way here on Split.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting that we've now actually seen on back-to-back days star duelists running the Jet with the Tejo Breach on Split, and in both cases, it working really well. Yeah. That's not something that we've seen outside of this little moment in time, but it's pretty cool. This was back in the second half, some really impactful rounds that allowed MIBR to really wrangle control of the game later on.
Yeah, it was super back and forth. It was kind of a muddy first half. And let's be honest, this round with the judge is not giving the best case for it to not have been muddy in the second half. But
I got to say, after that round, Artzin being silly on the comms, from there on out, it really felt like MIBR were just vibing. The game was just coming to them. They were chilling. They were being a little silly. They made it look very effortless in that second half.
I think we also got like a tiny look behind the curtain too in his reaction to that judge round. He's like saying in perfect English, I'm the best player in the game, or something to that effect. So it's clear they're doing some kind of combination, talking in some English, because three of the players who are Brazilians speak the language very well. Shenom's learning it. So thus far, I mean, it just looked on point. It was a very clean second half. They only dropped one round on the defensive side to close out Split.
Yeah, honestly, couldn't have asked for a better showing if you are an MIBR fan. But I do want to check in on the new additions to both teams and how they performed here, right? You got Vossi, combine them together. Rossi and Verno joining up. First thing, we'll start off with Rossi here. Coming into this one, didn't really get, to see much, but there were some moments for Rossi, for sure, Wyatt.
Yeah, he had a couple high-impact rounds here and there. It was the catalyst of some straight-up round wins at times, but no, definitely tough for him to really get in a position where he could try to take over the game, but that's going to happen when you're playing the Breach on the map. It's just a lot more setup, of course.
Verno wasn't absolutely lights out either, but I thought he did his job well, especially on their defensive side. He was in the places he needed to be, had very good util usage on that Teo, and seemed like he was gelling, having fun on the stage, which I think is one of the biggest things you're asking for when you're introducing a new, pretty young, pretty new player into a very different team culture than what he's experienced in the past.
And I think for both guys, it's a very clear, good fit, right? They're going to get slotted into the thing that they need to do. They're not here to be superstar, do the most amazing things ever. Just get the job done. It seems like so far so good.
I mean, they have Iceboxes and Demon Ones, but still, like, the expectation for those guys, if you watch the offseason, is greatness, right?
They don't have to worry because you got Icebox and Demon One, and you got some great players on your team. But let's shift over to the Leviathan side. We have Idopata standing by to get us ready for map number 2.
Thank you guys. I'm here with Ito Pata, head of map 2. And Ito, I'm a little confused when it comes to the IGL because I saw King talk about it. I saw Rossi saying that he's the IGL. So can you clarify how these roles are working out, not only for the IGLing, but also is Demon 1 going to be in controller? What is going on right now?
I mean, I think Kaz cat's out of the bag right now. Rossi is going to be the IGL for us, and Max is Demon 1 is moving to the smokes role.
So King Duelist.
King Duelist.
Okay, that's good. I mean, we saw a little bit of it, so I'm excited to see it on Icebox. Best of luck.
Okay, so the official word. We saw it there. Rossi is IGLing. King in the Duelist. Mimi, what do you make of this?
Rossi was doing the same thing on Cloud9 during the offseason, had a lot of success in that role there. It is weird because of the history King has. Almost 4 years IGLing for this team, now having to kind of step back and go back to a Duelist he hasn't played in quite a while.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Duelist he's actually going to be playing on Icebox, because I've definitely seen him play a whole lot of Raze in the past, and he was really excellent on that role. Shifting into the Jet would be really strange.
Yeah.
Do we get the Waylay? Perhaps. I think there's a chance. But yeah, I would be interested to see if he brings the Jet out.
Yeah, we'll find out, folks, because map 2 is coming up next, and we'll see whether or not Leviathan can force that map 3. Take us over to Ascent. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you on the other side.
Thanks for sticking with us. We are back, and we are about to get into map 2. It is Icebox. Will we see some Waylay from any of these teams? It's a consideration. We did just get info, though, figuring out Rossi's got that shot calling in for the squad. They're looking great coming into this first matchup, and we'll see if they can bring that momentum into map 2.
Definitely a lot of big things, big question marks going into the Agent Select for sure, because if you're thinking about what Jogger was mentioning before in his post-game interview, most of the best Jets are currently playing Waylay. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Waylay on this map of Icebox. I feel like this would have been perfect for, you know, players like Icebox or players like Demon 1.
Yeah.
But that might be squashed now that Demon 1 is now the controller player. But I do respect that of what Pata was saying before, to have Demon 1 into the controller. This is not unseen territory, right? The TenZ has done it before, from a Star Duelist back into a controller role, doing some great numbers onto that one as well. So now it's just a learning curve for Leviathan, it feels like, from going into this first map of Split 1.
Also, is this King Unleashed, right? No more, doesn't have to shot call, can focus on the shots, can focus on the Yoru again, actually coming in. So it is going to be King on Yoru. We wondered what it would be. Desk didn't feel like it would be Jet, and they were right. That's why they're Desk.
Yeah. So seeing King on this is quite nice. We'll have to see how he's going to develop this Yoru on the map. And now for MIBR, this seems like they've done this before, with the exception of one. I think instead of having I think they had a Gecko that they were playing before, but now it's still familiar composition, coming out of MIBR on this map of Icebox. I thought they'd be cooking a little bit more on their side with some Waylay, but at least it's going to be Icebox in the, of course, Jet.
Every time I see a Harbor in a composition, it reflects that it's going to take more teamwork. You play that layering to get into sight. You use the walls, you use the cascades. Verno can double clear or double check with Bolt and with Drone. So it's gonna be a lot of teamwork there, and then moving up. We'll see how LEV layers their tactics, as they are going to be on the attack side first, trying to come out strong here and make a mark on the map. They just lost on Split. Can they heat it up on Icebox?
It's going to get heated right away. 5 players up towards the belt, and here's the action.
Sheriffs go speed by 3 Sheriffs here for LEV. They want the long range fights. Look at them all up there trying to trade a few shots in with that 55 damage. Not going to tick in just yet.
The action will calm down for a bit. Yeah, they've lost Artzin in the very beginning for MIBR, but at least Shunnam is still up. So if there's a next wave from Leviathan, the Viper Wall could come through. They could delay even more and potentially even cancel out this Recon Dart salvo that Common Rossi will try to do.
Almost ahead. Icebox finds another, almost gets the flick. 3v3, but Calm is limping into the site with the spike here. High ground is taken over by MIBR. This wall drops and all hell is going to break loose.
The call from Rossi is, do you want to peek off the wall? And it is.
One enemy remaining.
Great trades, great coverage. Calm on the run.
Yeah, and in the end, getting a plant will be pretty decent here for Leviathan. A silver lining if they could come through and get that plant towards that B site, but Shenum's already hearing it all. By the time he comes across, coming through the orb, he'll be down to 1 HP. Easy tap. Boop. So to look back at the composition for both MIBR and Leviathan, it's nice to see that even Verno goes into the strong suit, into a Silva for this team.
Yeah.
Also is allowed to play a Silva for his team as well. I think he's mentioned also in a conversation with Pedro Romero where, you know, he kind of likes the Tejo because you kind of have to follow up with it with the meta, but he finds the Agent not really his strong suit because it's too easy to play. So now you're able to have a Silva and cook up some stuff like he's able to do here on a Silva in the past. So that might be something that might help Leviathan to fight moving forward later on this map of Icebox.
Always love to see what kind of darts Calm comes up with. The fracture ones are always a pleasure to see here on Icebox. We'll see if we find anything different or new. A little bit of a check down long for MIBR, but it is the whole squad of Leviathan keeping these classics together to see if they can move forward and get a plant down. All this delay from the Harbor makes it so much more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, look at how Artzin is just cycling through this. As soon as that cascade comes down, you have the high tide that comes through. He'll have an orb or a second cascade, and if they cross this line and want to use util, then you have the Viper wall. So right now for Leviathan, at least they're just full classics. They're sticking back towards the back of the tower here. I don't know if they're trying to sell a fake from the B side and maybe walk up contact after. Seems to be the case. The recon dart already got popped out here by Calm. Counter recon instantly shot off by a classic, so that will not force any rotates from MIBR. And there's a cascade.
It's from like 1 minute and 20 seconds you've seen Harbor utility here at Maze. Now we're down to 30. A pressure cooker hit onto the A site. It's going to really make things tough for King and squad as we see one fall. Demon One can trade back a classic shot, but it is just the rest of MIBR peering down here on the heads of the side of Leviathan. A nice cold plant, so they do get that money through at the last second. But how long can they spend in sight is the question.
I don't think too long, and that's why I chuckled a bit. It's just nice to see that they're just able to use Artzin's Cove to get a safe plant to bring some money at least for Leviathan. So 300 across the board, but let's not brush over the fact that Cortesia just had some nice anchoring despite being in an anti-eco. Great positioning, playing around the smokes, playing around his team's smokes, and getting a nice little 4K towards the end. 10 HP to remain.
1 HP, I double teamed him! Where do the bullets go?
Only into the helmet.
I feel like I say the same things in my game. That's crazy. All right, 2-0 here. Can they carry the bonus over? Artzin's just going to go with the Sheriff. Seems like that may be a weapon over to somebody else. Actually just buys 1400, so yeah, buys his own and gets the armor through. So just a low buy, shouldn't hurt him too bad. Lev is going to be looking towards B with an A lurk though.
Actually doesn't even get armor. I think right now for Artzin is trying to build the economy up so that getting into the later rounds, if Aspas loses an op in the next, he'll be able to afford another one for 2 rounds in a row. But the rest around it, the rifle's still pretty good for MIBR. 2 Bulldogs, rifle for Cortesia, good positioning coming out from Shenum. He'll get he may get punished around here, but it looks like with the high tide, that will pull and push the players away, and should have been a free kill. Another rare miss coming out from Aspas.
He's thinking he'd stay though. He always likes to play that you wouldn't consider that I do this, right? But he is in a one and done position. The drone may have actually seen him on the side. Easy dash out so they can set up in an anchor spot. But this is the right site choice by Lev.
The good part is that the drone was forced out at belt just to get Aspas away, so they won't be able to use it towards the 410. So they have to move as a group for Leviathan to try to get the plant down.
Oof. Cortesia won't be getting a 3K on this one. He drops first. The rest of MIBR is going to be forced to do the full retake here. And let's see how Lev pushes forward. Calm gets on high ground. It doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to get on that rafter. All right. Cascade in, dropping together, just trying to create chaos and break crosshairs, but all the shots are clicking here for the side of Leviathan on the retake. And they just get the last one to hit there on Shenum towards the top side, and that is going to be a bonus round for LEV. They strike back pretty early.
That's what you kind of want from Leviathan for sure. With the results from the first map of Split, they come back with good protocols, good fundamentals too, to have a clean retake, or re-hit rather, towards the A site. Capitalizing on the mistakes coming through like this to move in as this pack mentality. And imagine if you actually did take Tex down.
Yeah.
Cortezia maybe could have stayed alive towards the back of that A site.
They flooded, and I see Icebox is here.
Yeah, I think they have to consider that. I was going to say that Icebox is going to be doing some weird things in this, pushing up. They'll now consider him in a lot of different positions since he's trying to get those first bloods and take LEV off guard.
A good call by LEV to start. Rossi telling the team to focus up towards the A side. Because the op is already up from Icebox. It's at the right spot, or at the wrong spot rather, looking from top yellow. So King will have to try to follow through behind the Owl drone.
Oh no, oh, he threw it in shorts. They're not gonna get that flash to go working calm, and Demon 1 coming up with some quick frags there as they do get out of that kerfuffle. They'll be fine for the situation. The rotation now coming over from Icebox. It's gonna be hard to get the operator back in, and they don't even know it's on the map yet.
The good part about this is Icebox is able to rotate back to what seems to be Leviathan trying to go for that re-hit into the A site. So if he's able to get one or two, this is definitely the call to try to fight back into the site. So Leviathan have to be pristine here. Thankfully, still salvos and recon dart available for that re-hit. Salvos should be going back towards that spawn and screen, and there they are. That should allow safe passage for a plan into the A site.
A nice little combo, as you called it. Just one after the other. Pushing players out, trying to find out where MIBR's defensive positions could be.
That might be it.
Yeah, they have one snake bite for this and not a whole lot of util to get in. The operator's going to be worth way too much.
Especially when the op shot just whiffed and missed King towards that back of dice. That gives a chance here for Leviathan to set up in that split second. The next bullet to go back in the chamber of the op, and you'll see them now just well positioned in the pulse plant. So Leviathan will be able to tie up this game 2-2, and also have already realized now that the op came out early for MIBR. The comp coming out from Leviathan is actually quite nice as well, because you're looking at maybe some teams trying to force up a lot of the meta into the Tejo breach, and sometimes the Tejo breach on this map is very difficult to isolate the op or find the op where it could be. So you need potentially a KO or the Sova to try to knife out, recon out, to identify these long corridors and elevations that Jets could take on the defensive side.
It's so nice to have the Sova here too, because I feel like Icebox is just going to stand there. Just try to shoot you before KO flash, take the knife and still be okay with it. Just the kind of player he is. So yeah, being able to double find him, get him out, play it slow, and even have King work those flashes to get him out of position. They might even have a better idea of how to work around it now that Icebox has the op. So his job may get harder at this point. He's going to stick an A. And see if they can start off right away. They'll give him time to get online with the harbor wall coming out here towards A.
King's already disrespected it though. Ran through because he can always TP out if he wants. And that's actually a great move because he now realizes that MIBR are not pressuring, are not moving up towards the orb.
Yeah. You can almost see, he's like, are you on Jenny? Did he do the far peek? Yeah. They're thinking of everything to shut down Icebox right now. Oh. Ping, ping. How? Almost gets him on the second one. A lot of damage. Just look at the side of MIBR chipped away there from Verno and Artzin.
I think it was a flash dart. That's why they couldn't break it. So the double ping almost allowed here to get a couple of kills out. But at least you have some weakened players on the A side for MIBR. Leviathan, though, keeping them at bay towards A. Now focusing towards this B site where Shenum seems to want to play the one and done.
One of our first B hits here. Coming in from the side of LEV. It looks like they just kind of have to dry peek it, whether it's going to be this flasher on the corner. They have one more piece of util. They don't from that side of Tom. Oh my gosh. Just touch and go, touch and go. King finally gets Shenum. They're just asking for fights out in the middle of the site at this point as Rossi's Armageddon drops Cortezia.
Nicely done for Leviathan.
Jeez.
Yeah, Artzin so far just trying to stay alive, protect the op into the next round. Tex lurking through.
He sees a whole slew of people, tries to get away and still runs into Verno in a triple mid stack. And MIBR still limping around here. Icebox looking for one more shot, but he may actually lose the operator real quick to none other than a Comlurk.
Classic Com, but timing's good towards the end. It won both. If anything, yes, they lost Vernal, but Icebox may now be able to save his operator, knowing that LEV are closing that gap, so he's just trying to make sure he's staying as safe as possible and watches that single angle, trying to take down Com from that early pick. But overall...
Hunting.
Looks like he should be okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're looking back to MIBR. We've mentioned these one-and-done positions where they did catch a couple of players of Leviathan able to get the first shots through, but unfortunately couldn't connect. And due to that, everybody just got punished by the Tejo utility on the attack side coming out from Rossi to allow Leviathan to get this plant, and now the lead in this second map. Off again, the silver lining for MIBR in this round. Trying to get potentially a forward position. As you see now, Icebox getting ready to just run through the barrier.
They try to put an aggressive spot too. Spike down, default across the map here, so LEV can feel it out themselves and see what they want to do.
With the Owl drone missing in this position from Shenom, he'll get so much info, a free kill. Oh!
And stunned up, doesn't even have Demon One able to clean that up. They hear the close drone as well coming in from MIBR over at A because they're still lurking on that spot. A fast hit towards B now, and MIBR is going to be out of position.
That could have been the biggest kill to start things off here for MIBR to get a round with the much lower buy that they had, but that whiff again from Shenom.
Oh my gosh. They're so much farther ahead. Cortezia not even expecting anyone to be that close. Com is in the same spot too. They're just able to get these kills quick. And now the recoup. Icebox coming in with the operator again. It always seems too little too late here. They have so much work to do once they get to the site every time. And just delay over delay being layered on the spike.
Exactly. And then Demon One still has potentially a lineup with a Snakebite later on, but you see this come through. Salvos now, maybe there's nothing left here though. Oh, it's actually a bad plant. You can get behind the wall and defuse it here. Only gets it at half.
And there's the lurk. Demon One comes back around. MIBR really forced into that fight. Although a low buy round, they did have lockdown. They had a few things, and lockdown is still iffy to use if you're trying to retake B anyways on a low buy. But still, they went in that really aggressive without a lot of members.
And thankfully, Demon One was on that late lurk towards the end, because if that was being stuck and nobody was trying to crunch in,
I'm acting like I'm the GOAT. You don't need to act like that, bro. You are.
Dude, was that Icebox? That looked just like Icebox.
Definitely an Icebox cosplay. He also definitely is the GOAT for many.
Yeah.
But that's quite fun to see. You know, you still have this vibe merchant coming out here from Common at the same time in his conversations with interviewers has been mentioning that Rossi joining this roster is kind of like a mini Boostio.
Yeah,
comes out with
Boostio,
great
right?
vibes, joking around, keeping like the chemistry good and the camaraderie really nice between the camp of Leviathan. So despite them getting like what, no results on the map of Split, they're still staying quite calm, and you're seeing now forcing out the timeout on MIBR side with how good they've been working around this map of Icebox.
We'll definitely consider, no matter what's happening here, they'll probably vibing over there on that side with the mentalities we've seen so far. MIBR coming off that win on Split, looking for a solution here. The operator, again, seeming to be slowing them down, but it also could turn the game around if Icebox is the first person to see somebody. It just looks like LEV is really not allowing that and avoiding it at all costs.
And just before we get in, or we got back into the game, you just noticed that Verno was actually very vocal talking to his team. So there's probably something throughout this timeout that he's been reading through to allow here MIBR potentially to get some good defense, and it's potentially now to walk down and take control of middle. And when Icebox takes this, get ready for the extremities.
You can see the harbor wall here for Icebox towards mid, giving them a little bit more safety, because now they back off. They don't fully like the situation, and King is already in the face of everyone at A. LEV is moving so quick on these rounds.
The thing is, though, they've gotten map control, but that's it. There's a lockdown, and you also have a reckoning out coming out from the defense. That's going to have to push them all back.
Shenum gets one. Demon One could do a lot of damage here if he's got the right timing. Is he coming around from mid, but watching inside. Verno now scaling the maze, but he gets taken down by Com. Oh, goes down into the detained. The shots almost come in from both sides, but everybody's jazz hands at this point for a few more seconds, and we're back to defusing. It's going to be Artzin on the defuse. Colt goes down, and it is pandemonium in sight. Demon One's gone down on that flank, and MIBR start to source out the members needed to get this defuse down. It is at half. The fight continues. And it's going to be Icebox to get that last one. Not enough time after all. And they do finally lose that operator.
My God, did it get chaotic indeed in that round.
What the hell?
I feel there was maybe a little bit of a misplay going through because you kind of used the lockdown and the reckoning at the same spot. So already both ults are going to push all the players back towards the extremity where the spike has already been planted. Look at the radius you see from the replay right now. And with that, you're already going to be in an area on the attack side to protect your own lockdown. All that gave once again.
Nice! Let's go! Let's go! Come on, guys!
All that gave so much time for Demon One once again to wrap around into screens.
And they're expecting it.
I don't think MIBR so far in these scenarios have seen the lurks out of Demon One and the pulse plants. So Leviathan might still be able to use this as a trump card later on in this half.
Oh, the jockeying for position here at the front of A is so neat to watch. We see the mollies and the shock darts going in to try and hit him at maze before MIBR pushes through, but they're still making it. The harbor wall for safety. Like, so much is being invested here in the beginning. And it's just a game of inches to see who actually peaks first, and this might be a dry peak here. Whew. Icebox so ready. Oh, and he gets taken out right away. Tex flicks down and up. What the hell, Tex? The shots are incredible from him today.
Verno trying to go for the hero play, but is just going to get pinged out. No players will be dropping down for Leviathan, so that will calm down this high-low stack that was attempted by MIBR. Icebox playing the Jet in this composition where, again, before we started this map, I thought he'd be playing some Waylay, but the advantage is seeing Icebox with the Bladestorm versus Icebox with parting the rivers, pretty much.
Yeah.
Parting the seas on the retakes. If you had the Waylay to work with on the ult, I think this it fits his playstyle a little bit more in these lower buy scenarios for MIBR.
And we saw the stat on Icebox. What was it? Last time he played crew, he had a 4 KDA on this. I think he was like he had blades every round. He was flying through. We saw him in the spawn side when he was on attack, or the defender spawn when he was on attack. It's much different here. And MIBR still cleaning up a few to try and bring it back into their favor. Artzin has been hot on these shots throughout the game. Going to be enough to take 2 more down, though, with the Vandals they've picked up. Not much time on the spike. Slowly creeping. You can see Shenum wants to save. If Art even had one escape to get, he was going to attempt it. Yeah, Pit's going to be down for a round coming up here at least. MIBR may be able to turn the hand of LEV and which way they want to go, but really nice push and pull, re-hits. They're winning these stalemate fights that eventually break open.
You bring up a good point. I think that's the stalemate. At the very beginning, it's just slow stalls coming out from MIBR because of these high tides during their gun rounds, because of the cascades. We were praising that before on the side of MIBR with what Artzin's been doing. But that doesn't really affect Leviathan too much when you have recon art salvos for the re-hits. At least for now, and also you have King that's able to flash through all of these walls when they want to go for the explosion. But overall, they've done a very good job avoiding and understanding where Icebox is playing early in these rounds.
Whoop, watch your head. Rossi almost gets cooked a little bit. That's a nice kill onto Verno. So a lot of the retake capability of MIBR gone.
The thing is, the pit was being thrown down from the barrels on the side of the generator, so you can't really play top 410 or pipes. You have to reposition yourself here on the defense. So this may give a chance here for Leviathan to pressure back into this pit. Just try to find where the Viper could be playing.
Just missing on the right there. Nice cut out of the pit. 2 lurk towards mid. Very powerful group here moving through. They're going to have a back watch. And somebody moving into the site.
So good.
Look how close they can get to the pit, too. They just walk right in behind. Oh, the spam is perfect. Somebody's going to drop in. That's Shenum still picking up a kill, but Demon 1 follows through with the trade, and they have a free site to figure out what they want to do with.
That was just good manipulation of the map there for Leviathan. So much decoys being thrown out in the front of that pit. From the drone to the decoys. Allowing the other two players to just lurk around, both Tex and Demon 1. And because they've lost Vernal so early in that round for MIBR, that was key coming out from Calm in the very beginning, to kill him with the Hunter's Fury. Because the responsibility for Vernal was to try to not only dart for information at A main, but to drone and find information at the 1 minute mark up towards middle. And losing that key piece on the defense for MIBR allowed Leviathan to have such a beautiful split. And almost we're seeing Icebox every single round.
Yeah.
Yet
this is the only time he sees people, when they chase him.
Exactly. He's padding some stats with the operator, but getting no real value out of it. And it's not his fault. They're not going against him.
Exactly. That's the thing. They are avoiding him so much, he only gets to play at the end of the round when it doesn't matter. That's insane, Van Silly.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 7-2. All in a row, too, for Leviathan. Off that bonus, they have ran away with the game, and the operator still continues to be used here. MIBR feels like it's the solution for once it gets used. But LEV, it just seems like they have X-ray vision to where Icebox is every time and says, no thank you. We're either forcing you out with util or just going the other way.
Lots of ults available for Leviathan here. They might try to move a little bit more quickly. Lockdown maybe the first one to start. You can play Armageddon. Lots of util towards the end for the pulse plan. This composition from Leviathan that we're seeing so far, again, we've seen the display of what it could bring in the pulse plans on that B site earlier on in the half.
Lockdown free site.
No looks like he wants to use it.
Yeah.
No, he's going to let it go. He was backing up for it, but looks like they want to let that go and use it for the retake.
Oh my gosh. Everything in the kitchen sink on this round in sight for LEV. They go ahead and put the pit down on the lockdown. Armageddon's going to slow down the site take as they want to ensure a safe plant and adjustment into defensive positioning. And post plant. Oh my word. However, looking good so far. 5v4. Can they keep it going? MIBR to stop the bleeding with this round. There's a lot to be done still. Artzin makes a better case for it, though, with another kill. Calm's very low on this one. Cortesia. Here's one. Cool. Demon 1 finding Artzin in the site.
Last player standing.
They're all so close, but somehow it's taking so long to get the final kill onto Demon 1. He is dancing. He is dodging, and MIBR are able to get it. Yeah, that's going to be enough time. That's not a fast ping just yet. Up to half. They are going to give that over to Verno to try and stack the ultimate, and MIBR get the calls, get the comms, and get the site take.
Yeah, great job by Verno towards the end, using the Hunter's Fury not to stop the lockdown, but to actually not allow Leviathan to get the plant in. That gives a chance now for MIBR to start flooding through, because they're forcing out so many early ults and not be able to use it for the pulse plant. Don't tell me that was going to be the winning thing that does allow Calm to lurk. But yeah, just being able to do that and then having MIBR using the elevation, knowing that the pit was staying quite low towards that jail. Artzin just drops in with the rest of the team to try to close up onto Demon 1.
See Fried cleaning the sweat off. He's like, all right, we're doing it. We're coming back now. They're sweating this one out for sure with the power that LEV's been hitting with. If they can find a way through A site again, they make it difficult. And now they've been keeping Tex and Demon 1 together more so in mid as they get this first initial encroach. Tex is so fast on the flicks today.
Survives at 30 HP. Drone to find info. It actually does see comms, so that might allow here MIBR to just stay put towards the A site. All of them playing and leaving Icebox solo towards B because of this op.
Right here.
With how Leviathan's been playing so far, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit and finish towards the A side again.
You're not wrong. It's such a good insert there with Rossi. And you see Tex moving in, keeping that turret alive towards mid, so the flank is double watched. I think they drone and they throw a
and he's got TP
right?
towards spawn, exactly. So he'll probably grab orb first left. Or something, just try to make sure that Icebox is going to hear it. And there you go, TP's out. And again, we talk about these walls that are always available from MIBR, but you got salvos and everything else to try to hit back, and flashes to counter flash to the walls.
Oh, Artzin takes a very vulnerable position here after being vulnerable himself, but they're not going to expect it. Oh, he gets the 3K collide on Common Demon 1 in the end, and that is going to be a big turnaround. The rotation now to come over 1v1, but it's not going to be enough. Beautifully done here. MIBR able to string it out.
A huge kill coming out from Verno towards the end. Yes, there was a very big 3K that happened first, so a little bit of a misstep coming out from Leviathan by not clearing behind that wall in front of Jenny. So after getting this 3K though, there was a beautiful high-low, or at least one on the 410. That was Tex trying to watch the player, trying to plant down and cover his back. But Verno swings out to get the kill. If not, the plat was going down, it would have a 1v1 where Icebox would have to play with an op retake. And thankfully that salvages the round here for MIBR. Changing the pace here, Leviathan going with the dimensional drift flash now to take control of this B site.
Boy, he's holding. Oh, he's gonna stay. Oh, okay, he doesn't stay. I'll say that's a real risky play. They go all the way through, and I think last round what we've been waiting to see is for MIBR's rifles, the things in A, to actually stop LEV, to not need that B rotation over. And here, with LEV choosing the lower numbers again, the softer site, they may just get it.
Nice
now. Delay.
Oh, they're actually using the Reckoning for the delay for sure.
Oh. Trade back slows things down. Coming in from screens, the double play here. Verno just with shocked darts. They've already used the find for the site. But Artzin does have the walls to kind of get them a little bit of an entry in if they can layer themselves forward.
For Leviathan, they don't have their own wall to walk through. So Icebox is in a good spot to watch the cross.
30 seconds left.
He'll be the first point of contact, and Artzin has to play the hero after if they're able to cross over the first shot that's about to ring.
Rossi just got salvos back. That's going to initiate the window they want to get in. Oh, Verno, eyes high, hits the 410 shot immediately, but Icebox is pushed back as he did not have an angle on anybody during the action. Just everyone bearing down on him. Alert bot to give up his spot here. And he will not be able to buy an operator coming into the next round. It is half anyways at 8-4. And what a half from Lev it was.
That's the beauty again of Leviathan with how good this Tejo is going into the meta. By not having any smokes, but staying patient enough, knowing that he still had enough time to use the salvos to push these, at least the op out of position. And Artzin had to land those shots in the back to give him a chance, but they didn't, and now they have a great start for Leviathan in the second half.
Very aggressive attack side coming in from Leviathan. Can MIBR answer back after the break? We are back. Thank you so much for joining us again. MIBR will now attempt to come back and take it in two, but Lev, very much so, looking like they're going to push us all the way to Ascent, a map 3 here in our second series of the day. And it has been a stark difference for both teams, from Split and how MIBR played to now Lev waking up very much so for Icebox.
I think, again, this composition will continuing to look fairly good for Leviathan on the defense. They have great ways to fight against the double wall coming out from MIBR, who are looking to start here towards this A site. All 5 of them to kick things off. Thankfully, though, for Leviathan, or at least for MIBR, we are playing soft side over towards A. Tex is all the way towards the back under the rafter, and they are trying to tempo up out of this. So there should be a plant coming out here for MIBR, but a triple flank is what's going to be the key component for Leviathan in this round of the pistol.
Okay, Tex. Just right here. Tears a head off in sight as they jump up, I believe, onto that top part. Spikes down. A quick check back before everybody comes through, but that whole lurk is coming back around through mid.
They've kept 2 players all the way back for MIBR, and MIBR doesn't have the composition to play the pulse plant delay, so Leviathan flooding back. Cortezia has to come up huge with Icebox in here.
All right, displacement goes through. They got to wait for this decay to come back up. All 5 members of LEV in sight, healthy and ready. They have a flash now from King. They need to get a little bit more room. Oh, the teamwork. They're just setting up walls of pistols here to retake, but Icebox and Shenum fire back. Oh my God. Icebox, he does 4K for Icebox. Wakes up with a Red Bull clutch.
What a round by Icebox. At the very beginning when it was peeking out towards that belt, and I was like, okay, that's 1 bullet, only a body shot. The other ones are missing. Caught in the reload as well. But as soon as he gets a new chamber, those were not shooting blanks. And he gets the Red Bull clutch here to save the pistol for MIBR.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh. That'll start to spark some things here for MIBR, especially for Icebox. Been waiting to see that for both games right now in the series, but it's good to see MIBR be able to frag without him as well.
Double rifle, sorry, triple rifle for MIBR in this second round. Anti-eco. Heavy lean towards the B site where there's actually 4 players for Leviathan ready to fight back with Util.
Kind of toying with that, taking a little bit of time to take him out, but they still grab 2 at yellow. Tex with 3 headshots off the Sheriff. Had 1 last round as well. Not messing around on that defensive side.
Just nice to see Tex back on the stage here for the stage 1, because he is always so hot with that Sheriff.
Incredible stuff. Com should be able to find an upgrade here on the way in too. Oh, doesn't even give it up just yet. He wants the positioning. And there's Shenum. The Vandals being brought in. Quickly close out the round.
Yeah, and the play wasn't really around Tex getting that 3K with the Sheriff. The first thing was trying to help Demon 1 at yellow. There was a flash from the back of the Viper wall on the attack side from King to allow here Demon 1 to get this position and hopefully push up forward to get a pick. But after that, unfortunately, all the players are falling down towards that right side. But what nice anchoring coming out from Tex. Still turns out to be around for MIBR, though.
I hate to fucking break it to you.
It happens like that sometimes. It happens. All right. Cascade pressure from MIBR towards A here. So they start showing themselves early at both sites on this half. Just to give Leviathan an idea that the whole map is going to be used for this half.
Yeah, despite losing 3 players within that previous round, still 3 rifles in the bonus, and it starts off well with this lure from Shenum.
Quick push towards mid. That is not a timing I think anybody expected, and MIBR is working off that cut so fast right now as they quickly get a site, and it looks like Lev is just going to go ahead and either save these guns or look for the most extreme exits.
Definitely have to save. Look at the money that's left behind by Com and Demon 1. Even Tex is bought all the way down to 0. You have to save this right now. So Icebox is definitely going on a hunt. They're closing that gap. Shenum, beautiful lurk in the beginning of this round.
Oof. We'll see if Verno's calls as well continue to push and pull Lev around. We saw that on Split quite a bit. The mid-round calls were so good for him and the rest of the squad. Hello. Just a quick tap on the shoulder. Oh,
beautiful.
Nice side steps there.
And that's a bonus round that you definitely want. It was supposed to be weaker because of those weapons they lost in that round number 2 of this half, but it still turns out, again, a beautiful lurk from Shenom. The first opening that he gets there forces the hand of the players of Leviathan to double up towards Raptors, so you can't really hide or run anywhere unless you want to fall back and play the retake. They opted to stay on top of Raptors, and it was just too many players from MIBR for them to deal with. And now for this round, at least they have the right read to have 4 players stacked up towards this right side.
Oh, chasing Icebox, still trying to get in that jail spot, and they put him in one. King takes him out, and they start to push forward a little bit on that defensive side to say, you don't get free space right away every round. That's just not the game.
At least that util being used really allows Kane to get these nice little forward position and break the timing of MIBR jumping up on the belts. So maybe in the later rounds when they do have rifles, you might be able to see that again here. That seemed to have caught MIBR off guard a bit. Although no recon was thrown, I think, by Verno at the beginning, which is how King got that timing.
Right.
I suggest you move.
Wow. Reckoning invested?
Yeah, Reckoning invested, and they're quite inside the site. Leviathan being thrown left and right with that. Not understanding which position to play in, and it was only in front of Shenom's crosshair that they found where they could hide. What a push through. Taking more space, encroaching into areas. MIBR is suffocating Leviathan right now.
Maybe Shenom or Cortezia. Yeah, definitely. I love that.
Jeez.
A 4K for Shenom, and that's a selfless play coming out from Verno, not to allow Shenom to get the 4K, but mostly activate to get the Viper Spin in this round. So big respect here given by MIBR to use a Reckoning to find the information to allow Shenom in the first place to get the triple kill on the entry right over here. Now you have double ults to work with for MIBR in the next round.
Oh, Ito's got to be, you see him smacking the desk a bit, but watching 3 of your players almost swing on each other to try and retake that site. It's definitely not what you practice. It's a little bit of chaos here. Now MIBR has quickly brought this back to 8 and 8, Van Silly. Icebox getting towards that top of the list, but Shenom up there too.
Definitely, and I do respect Ito Pada being angry in this moment, but this, you have to also understand this was an eco coming out from Leviathan the round before. So the Reckoning being invested, you can't really play full back and flip back into the site here for Leviathan. You know that Tex has been very good in the shares from that pistol round, so why not try to attempt to at least try to get the trade-off onto Shenom? And unfortunately, you know, he kind of swung out one by one, which maybe was the reason why he got angry, but I still like the play here that Leviathan tried to do to prevent Shenom or even MIBR to move inside A.
I would love to see more trickery from King. We're getting a pretty, well, peak with gate crash and then I'll get out kind of stuff. He's not pressuring MIBR. He's not saying, oh, my Yoru's really going to cause you chaos in the middle of the round and make your strategy sweat. We're kind of seeing King play reactive.
So off this timeout, at least Texas all set up here towards this A site, so they are reading that that MIBR should be trying to get a pit towards this A site. So they'll try to delay it and maybe force the Viper outside of her position. You saw this early TP coming through already from King to support towards this B site, so it ends up not being the bestest of plays for now, but at least a second TP allows for him to move back when the hit now comes through by MIBR.
Just trying to cover the whole map and be there with the squad. Tex missing the second one, so MIBR now broken the site once again. This is where they become deadly, but Leviathan is trying to hold their ground. They just cannot. How are they not taking out one member at a time?
My God.
That's another high-low double kill coming in for MIBR to wipe the site.
Well, what can you do now when these players are feeling hot for MIBR? You've talked about so many flakes happening through in the past. Yes, a couple in from Tex, but mainly coming out from MIBR in the second half. And Tex already dying in the very beginning. It's just unfortunate. Yes, he gets a nice pick to take down Icebox, but we talked about the delay that he could have had with a Nanostorm and Alarm Bot. And it just didn't give a chance here for Leviathan to answer back as soon as Tex fell down. Now in the post planet delay, it comes down to Demon 1 on the flank.
Wow.
Last player standing.
Just to ensure it.
It'll just come down to Demon 1, and I think that's going to be the decision to save. Didn't wait long enough for the player of Leviathan to push out from the spawn into the top of the site, easily caught off. And unfortunate there. I guess a little bit of a miscomm coming through. Now MIBR on the attack side will take the lead in this game. And even in the series, remember, this was a 13-7 first half, or first map rather, on Split on Leviathan's map pick. And now you're starting to see that Icebox for MIBR seems to have the stronger suit on the attack side with what they're doing from slicing out the map here with the high tides out from Artzin.
It's like seeing these shots.
Dude.
I'm kind of looking on the map too. It's like, are we not seeing kind of what LEV is if they're on Raptors and lower? How many people are behind them on elevation and then on the ground from MIBR, right? They also have a lot of shots to hit. And for MIBR, it's right in front, high, low. So the distraction MIBR is creating on these site takes is just causing that indecision in LEV's shots. Who do they shoot? Which high, low? There's just so many options because MIBR is moving so damn quick.
One suppressed.
Drone actually spotted the Viper, and they know that there was an updraft coming out from MIBR on the top. Demon trying to find a timing, but protected by Artzin.
I think that's what we're seeing altogether. The protection here, the cooperation being played. As I say that though, LEV strike back exactly what they need this round on that low buy. If they can collect any of these weapons, it would be such a boon. Spike goes down, and it's going to be that much tougher to get this round in their favor.
And they might invest this. I was going to say they have 3 ults to work with. Now the Dimensional Drift could help the Hunter's Fury from Calm, and you're hoping to get a pick here.
They got text that Vandal. See if he can move in. He is coming in through mid right now. And they start using the Hunter's Fury on one. Just a quick tag onto Artzin. They're not able to get another one as Verno fires through the ult. And now Tex still in the chase of Cortesia. Spike ticking low. This is going to be tough. It's just for the kills now.
What happened? They're doing such a great job to run that clock down. And yeah, I mean, again, it almost looked like Calm was more ready for a recon towards main than trying to get the Hunter's Fury ready to try to get a pick off the Dimensional Drift. So I feel, again, just a second round of miscommunication coming out from Leviathan. Dropping down Cortesia inside that B site would have given that space to allow here King to get that forward position back into sight outside of Dimensional Drift. Then start moving as a group. Recon Dart to fight back towards yellow. But unfortunately, it was just too much utility being used, and MIBR was just able to dance through all of that. Verno winning a key fight. And now you're gambling for a push. A silent walk-up on a defense with rifles for Leviathan.
And this is going to be a pivotal round here, 10-8. This is LEV. They're using all that money they have right now. Armageddon comes out. It's going to be a quick kill under pressure coming in. King and Calm do get one, but they trade 2 back as well as MIBR. Pushing that to 3 kills to take the advantage.
And now there's a big lurk coming out here. They already spot one. Yeah, the headshot. Ross is low on HP. But if Demon 1 is coming through and cuts across and gets a pick, I mean, the timing is still out for Shenop. We were talking about some great lurks coming out from Cortesia on Split. This time is a second rookie flexing in here into this Viper.
He's looking so confident too. Ready to take this on all by himself in spawn and Calm exactly what he sees. Let's see what the trigger or discipline is here.
You got Recon Dart about to be thrown out here by Verno. That will definitely help Shenop. He's already got the first one and picks the second.
Yep. Wow. Beautifully done. The team in sight waiting. We can see it clearly on the mini-map, and MIBR is following through 100% with what they need to do each round. No mistakes, almost.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, the second half, no mistakes at all. So, yeah, that is 100%.
Great half, no notes.
Yeah. Seriously, like, how do you stop this? How do you get back? There's just such a separation in the comms right now, it feels like, and how they're organizing around in the in-round protocols that are being called to take the advantage.
And you have to, again, look back at what Leviathan's been doing here towards these changes, but we're going to hold that for a bit. There's no timeouts. We continue with the action. There's an aggressive push coming out from King from the drone of Calm in the very beginning. They are trying to pinch very early, but a double ult coming through. Hunter's here to drop here. The lockdown being used. I mean, it's a plethora of ults on both ends. And it's won this time by MIBR, who will get a safe plant on the A site.
Game point on the other end of this round. 5 members still to come in. It's going to be a little late here from Demon One as they were waiting to see if it was a ruse once again.
And Leviathan forced into this round.
Still find the kills. The backup just is there with Demon One. Does get there in time. Viper v Viper now. The rookie versus the world champion. Bites down. He's trying to pull this out and just get the fake shots. Try to find where the Vandal is outside the smoke. Shenum's in hell. Shenum gets the headshot and takes down Demon One to put MIBR on game point.
And that's going to give you even more confidence into this game. And maybe even in the further weeks for MIBR, for Shenum to win a 1v1 against one of the best players in the world of Demon One, changing roles into this one, even staying cool under the pit to be able to win this and put MIBR at series points.
What a confidence builder here for the rookie throughout this Icebox match. Playing a lot of the flanks, getting confidence from his team to make these plays, and then taking down that 1v1 clutch. It is going to be a LEV timeout here as they get some final words in. If MIBR can push us over this last round and take the series 2-0.
Yeah. And the point I wanted to bring up earlier on, talking about this miscomms and missynergy coming out from Leviathan, this was also something that was addressed by Leviathan when they got eliminated from Kickoff at just outside of 4th place, missing that extra point. Dropping a tank, bringing in Rossi allows for them to have a better chemistry and synergy, but I do understand how it looks chaotic in these comms for now because they have changed so many roles. So at least for now, from what I understand or from what I'm seeing here from this series, it's a marathon, not a sprint for Leviathan, at least for now.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of VALORANT to play and opportunities to pull through. As you remember, this is a roster that's, gotten 4th place at Champs, won Split 2 of Americas last year, and had not the best starts, even getting grouped towards Kickoff of last year. So Leviathan could definitely turn it around. But at least for now, in this present moment off this timeout, is how the hell do you stop MIBR on these aggressive pushes on the A site? And they're stacking all their players on the side, but MIBR has done such good conditioning here that they're now choosing towards the weak site to hit towards B.
Wild stuff. Really great calls by Verno here to bring it back from down in rounds at the half. Now 12-8. And like you said, working off that A conditioning as they now go B here. Soft site's going to be had. It's a little detected by Demon One just on the timing. He's trying to play delay, and they have moved accordingly. LEV is here to defend. This is their best chance here at keeping the game going.
This recon dart could be huge here. He'll get a few pings, but man, it might be on fights.
That's insane. One minute somebody pulls a trigger and 3 people die on the side of LEV as the action begins. That's how quick MIBR is trading each other, swinging together, and just playing off one another here. That's going to be Tex and King trying to get back 2 Guardians to save the day.
Doing all of this without flashes as well. So there are protocols to come through from MIBR to try to get the best value out of trades. And the chances are looking very thin for the last 2 players of Leviathan and for the roster as a whole.
Pinged on that too. Nothing working in their favor here. Nice shock dart though. Tex takes a little bit of damage on that one. It's going to be the wall just hitting him for vulnerability, but the win is there. MIBR with the kills come through. A comeback on map 2 and a 2-0 series to close out the day.
And it's nice to see Icebox closing this out for MIBR with 2 nice outlaw kills. So a little bit quiet on that first half, but when he took the attack, he took the matter into his own hands. And MIBR once again have a great start going into this split 1 against a very strong team of Leviathan. There was some good flash in the pan from what we saw from Leviathan with Rossi coming in as the IGL for a split. But overall here, MIBR definitely did come prepared, and even if they didn't come prepared to come up against the compositions that Leviathan could come with, they've adapted well on the fly.
For sure. Fantastic matchup between both teams. Fraud taking chances, and I'm pretty sure he's happy with the chances he took as well. Verno, a new voice on the squad, switching up how they play things. and they will take a bow for their first victory here in Stage 1.
Yeah.
Dominating back and forth, dominating the mid game. We saw it kind of all here, and a little bit of a comeback from MIBR in this series.
Brings a great storyline as well as to what Fraud was mentioning as to why they picked up Verno at this point, right? Because Verno was available on the bench here from Energy, and even Fraud mentioned in interviews with the Spike.gg saying that even if they did make it to Bangkok in that first play or after kickoff, that change probably still would have happened because Verno is that good in the eyes of Fraud. So he wants to take the risks. He wants to make sure that he has a roster right now, taking all these risks, building around Icebox, putting a lot of money to bring Icebox in, bringing in 2 big rookies that are unproven into the stage, but has enough trust into this roster to try to win champs, not make it the champs, but win champs. So now it's up to Fraud's responsibility to make sure that all of this gels well, and it has for a lot of these moments in this series against Leviathan.
And we'll have to see if LEV still, they have growth to do, switching out your duelist. We heard all back in July 18th of 2023 was when King was playing duelist, and we did see more of just the basic defensive rotation, Yoru coming out. The gate crashes were to get back to site to help and flash for retakes there. We weren't, it's not going to be Jogamo level, but we weren't really seeing an aggressive Yoru from either side.
You actually bring up a great point, because if you're looking from Leviathan, despite this loss, the positive thing out of that is that they have so many players that have a deep agent pool. So if it doesn't work out for this week, maybe Tex could play Duelist, maybe Demon 1 could play Duelist, right? So they could definitely make it work. They tried things out for the first time for this week. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep the same thing for week 2 and 3, but also wouldn't be surprised if they go for changes again.
We'll have to see. Right now, we are going to send it down to Dryad on stage for the Verizon post-match interview with Artzin.
Thank you, guys. I'm here with Artzin for the Verizon post-match interview. Artzin, congratulations on this win against Leviathan. We heard since the last couple of matches of Kickoff that you took the IGLing role, but I want to know a little bit what happened since you got eliminated from Kickoff to prepare yourself to be a better IGL now for Stage 1 and to get this first win.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a person that likes to communicate and everything. I have the leader stuff on me. So it wasn't that hard to become an IGL because it was what the team needed, but also I have the profile for it. So, I mean, I'm really happy that we are going through this and we're winning, so.
And it's looking good. And something that is really interesting about you as well is that you're playing a lot of different roles, a lot of different agents. I mean, just last Kickoff, we saw you on the duelist as well. We didn't see it this time around on Split. Is there an ideal role for you when you're IGLing? Is that why you're seeing with these different metas right now, these different compositions that the team is playing?
I mean, I think it depends which team do you have. If you have some good persons that communicate, that is be proactive, the role don't even matter that much. But on this team, I'm the flex, and my lack of agents help a lot the team to do which comp you want and everything. So yeah, the flexibility helps us a lot.
It's something that is really showing, and especially showed on this map, or on this match. But knowing a little bit about it as well, when it came to playing these different teams that are all running different compositions, all have different, more aggressive, more passive styles, is there something that you recognize from them as a IGL of where you feel the most comfortable, or, you know, for example, IGLing against a team like Leviathan?
I think my team knows to play against different teams and different styles, so it's not a big deal for us to adapt which team we're playing against. So that's a good thing that we have on us that help us a lot to adapt whichever team we're playing against.
So Kickoff, you got 3rd place, but the next match is actually going to be against the Kickoff champs of G2. How do you feel about facing them?
I'm really happy to face G2 again. They're a pretty good team, so we're going to do our best.
Okay, I'm excited to see the match. Thank you so much, Artzin, for the interview. This is everything that we have for the Verizon post-match interview. Can we hear once again for Artzin? And with that, we're going to send the 2 match point with some of the MIBR players.
Round ends. Hello and welcome to Match Point. I'm here, Ender, with Verno and Icebox. We're going to be playing a little game called Stick It. I'm currently planting the spike, and well, Verno's going to be starting it off here and trying to defuse as close to 0 seconds as possible. Right now we got Zekin. He's at the leaderboard with 0.6 seconds. Verno, you gonna crush that? Yeah. Easy. For sure. What's your trick? Do you play off audio, visual?
I have no trick. I'm just guessing.
You're just guessing? That's crazy.
Feeling, bro.
Icebox, what you think he's gonna be good?
Yeah, I'm gonna guess as well. I have no tricks.
No tricks?
No tricks.
I know people that like count them or like wait until it's like the fastest beeping before figuring out. I don't know. But we're getting down to it now.
That's like 0.1.
Okay.
0.16, bro. I just saw it 0.16.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh,
yeah.
0.12. Okay, good.
I mean, 0.12, that's literally #1 on the leaderboard. That crushes Zekin. You two want to swap it up now?
Wow. You want to try?
You want to try to beat this?
You can keep the headphones. I don't need sound.
You don't need sound, bro?
Yeah.
You don't need...
Yeah.
This guy's crazy. This guy's crazy. Okay. Let me run on over. I'll plant it on B again for you.
Wow, 20 hertz monitor here?
We left all the hertz out on the stage, don't worry. Crazy. I gave you the jet, don't worry.
Thank you.
Just don't shoot me, okay?
Okay. Can I do a little damage?
Hey.
Hey, I'm down to 50, hold on.
Okay, I'm gonna do half.
See, that's smart. Me personally, I'd have to get it to half, or I'd be a disaster out there. I love that you're still wearing the headphones. This is crazy to me.
I gotta listen for him.
All right, no way you're getting me. I got the movement. I got the movement.
Oh, he's 1 HP now. You got it. You got it, bro.
Whoa. Wait, whoa. That's crazy.
I watched your phone in shooting you and I forgot about the bomb.
Way too much on me. I don't know.
I forgot about the bomb.
You were shooting Lev a little bit better than you were shooting me out there. All right, you guys can go ahead and head over to Golden Boy. Great work, Verno, the current champion.
Well done, fellas.
Congrats, bro.
You got a new goat.
Oh man, that's awesome. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the match point.
These guys are getting 4-second times, bro.
Well, okay.
That's a problem.
Yeah, there were definitely, and Busio, we don't talk about Busio. You know, he didn't finish. He kind of messed up. To be fair, he was the first one to ever do Stick It, and he failed. So
how did we get 3 seconds?
And you're right next to Busio now, Icebox.
Nice. Okay.
Good company.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the win, guys. And I know, that must have felt good, especially after, kickoff and having to miss things for a little while, especially for you, Icebox. So I guess my question for you is, what did you and the team work on specifically during that break? I know you were kind of going through roster changes, bringing in Verno into the mix, but what were you guys working on primarily?
I think because of the new map pool.
Yeah.
We are playing behind the meta as well. We knew the meta, but we were just not playing it. So basically one thing that we focused right now was to be on the meta. So now we are using Terro. That was something that we showed on Split. But Icebox is just the old Icebox, so Harbor comp.
Yeah. No, and it worked. It worked very well for you guys. Verno, coming into this one, man, there's a lot of questions, and a lot of people were very, like kind of confused as to the whole situation. Walk me through, you get a phone call to join Made in Brazil. How does that, in your mind, what is going on at that moment? Are you just like, screw it, it's a team, I just want to get on a squad?
No, I mean, that's exactly what happened. We went in a group chat.
Yeah.
Went in a group call. Me, Aspas, Rod, well, I wanted to play, and I knew there were a lot of teams that were I don't think were competitive.
Okay.
That I maybe could have joined, but MIBR, when they offered, I knew that was a good team. These guys are good, and if I join, the language barrier I don't think will ever be a long-term problem. And I just thought we would be I could play on a really good team who I can trust all of them to just kill.
Yeah, I mean, you find out that you're going to be teaming with one of the greatest players in the world over here. Just humble brag. How's that for you? You're like, holy crap! I'm going to get an opportunity to play with a world champion here.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. Aspas is the best player in the game.
It seems like you guys are getting along quite well.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure. He always knows how to play. Same with like I was actually surprised, honestly, by everyone on the roster. Like I knew they were good, but I didn't realize like how good they were. But they all like really good. Like I can trust all of them to like play well and like kill people and know how to play. Like
was that your concern though coming in? Did you have the language barrier concern at all for yourself personally, or you felt confident you can work through that?
I think it's more of like a short-term concern, but my goal
you mentioned that.
And like our goal obviously isn't like necessarily short-term.
Yeah.
So I thought the language barrier wasn't a problem. Like the only like question mark was like how good is everyone going to be, and everyone's really good.
I got to tell you, I applaud you for taking a risk. You know, at a young age, it's a very risky call to go for a team where, you know, you may not know how things shake out. But one thing you did have was Icebox to lean on, and Artzin, and a lot of quality talent, Fraud as well. I mean, a freaking legend, a guy I highly respect. So how is it playing with Verno? Because we heard an interview earlier where you were talking about Verno, but I want to hear from you now. How's it playing with the guy, and are you enjoying it?
I'm enjoying a lot. Like, the guy is just really good at the game. He has so good comms. He's very fun outside of the game as well. Where yesterday we're like doing the thing with the bottle, trying to flip it.
Oh yeah, flip the bottle,
and we only stopped when both make. So and my wife was doing as well. So when all three of us made it, we can stop. But if we don't make, we can stop. And we did like downwards as well with the thing.
The cap
going.
Yeah.
So like
that's hard. It's really hard.
It took some time, but for him it was really easy. The guy is just good. He's good in game and out game.
Look at that. He's good in game and good out of game. Well, guys, I mean, congratulations on the win. Y'all look great out there, and I'm sure you're very excited for this season and what's to come in the future, right? Are you pumped? Are you pumped for the year?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, it seems like that. And for you now as well, Verno, I mean, you have an opportunity here to maybe even play with a team that third place at Kickoff. You know, they pushed really hard. Opportunities for globals. What is your personal goal this year?
Well,
outside of winning the whole damn thing.
Well, I mean, the goal. I mean, for me, just provide the most impact I can for the team. I mean, even sort of lead the team if I can to winning, and end goal is to win the championship. I mean, also we can win Masters if we want.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, look, you're one step further, right? With that one, you got yourself a championship point. Let's actually take a look. Now that we have 2 days of stage 1 complete, here are the standings and how things are going to be playing out here, because MIBR sitting at the top of the standings, looking pretty with that.
I can't see anything.
You better get that checked out, buddy.
I have glasses, but I don't play with them.
Oh, yes, that old chestnut. But hey, Verno, that's got to feel pretty good, right? Starting the season off strong with a big win like this. You guys have G2 next, I believe, right? Any thoughts on that one for both of you? Verno, we can start with you first.
Well, I think they're a good team. They know how to play well with util.
You just think you're better though? Is that what it is?
We'll I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Just trying to egg you on, Just trying to give me a little sun, Icebox, what about for you, man? Because you're going to get that opportunity to go up against G2, go up against Jogamo. Called you out, said Waylay, and it could be in play. Are we going to see some Waylay?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe the map was just banned. Who knows?
Ooh.
But I'm happy to play against them again because I love playing against good players. And they are a really good team, and they don't have good players.
Yeah, no, of course. And it's going to be an exciting match for sure. But we'll be back tomorrow, folks, with plenty more action here for the final matches of Week 1. We have 2 big games lined up for you. You got 2G versus Evil Geniuses taking to the stage, and then we're closing out with a little bit of an NA banger. You got Sentinels going up against 100 Thieves, the clout battle that always seems to happen. It feels like it's in the script every single time. Any predictions on that one, on the 100 Thieves Sentinels game? What are you guys thinking?
2-1. Don't know for who.
Come on, Icebox. So what about for you, Verno? You gonna give me the same thing?
No, I agree. It's actually a close game. They're both really good. Whoever wins the most pistols.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Those are safe choices there. I got to get you guys to give me some heat next time. No, but seriously, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Congratulations on the victory, folks. And that's going to do it for us here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. But for now, here is your Samsung SSD fast replay, and we'll catch you then.
started, man. I mean, it's G2 versus Furia. G2 coming off the back of being finalists at Bangkok, one of our master event, and Furia just looking to try and get that map win, essentially. Be a playmaker. Needs to catch this kill here with him versus Prize, and Prize just takes his head clean off. Potentially the ace round to the corner. Prize is just taking out Chorgamo. Trent's left to do it all. Sigma half is necessary. Red Bull clutch for Prize. He pounces, he strides Khalil off into the side as well as that 1-2 punch and that combination. Believe he's right back at you. Trent now still needs to get this plant down. Squared up to the fight. Potentially doable. Takes the swing, takes the fight. They know exactly where he is. No one leave. That is pure composure. Rifle in hand. There is a follow-up. Deep push out through B main. It's all contained or handled. Time ticking. Pressure's on for Khalil. It made all the noise in the world, and the time to strike is nigh. Wonderful effort by Fury, but at the end of the day, when you're going up against a Bangkok finalist, it takes a bit more to get it over the line.
If you're Furia, you're not used to this type of playstyle.
Okay, it's one way to deal with Joe.
Might not matter.
Through the back of the side, the team trying to take that swing. And my God, Havoc!
The 4-piece from Havoc.
See if he can pick up the pieces into this one. Double face up, but he's isolated it so damn nicely. Leaf, surely not. Dominate! Unreal! We blinded up to anything here. Straight and around to Jenny. 20 seconds left. The spike is in spawn, man. And a flick of the wrist from Jorg. He's finishing this map. All accounted for. Everyone's ready for it. G2 take it away 13-7.
Oh, we got a great game coming up ahead for our second one on the day here, MIBR versus Leviathan. And there's a lot of history for all these players here, but what's in front of us now is going to be awesome to see.
There's the first contact.
1-for-1, Cosmic Divide goes in.
Splitting up the defense too. This might work now for MIBR.
Off position. They couldn't follow up quickly on the Armageddon. King's going to go ahead and get a 4K.
I also love that he doesn't overextend. Well, Artzin with Judge. What did we talk about before?
Double and one. What does he have, slugs in that thing? 4 for Artzin.
So good at this game, bro.
And there's only 13 seconds left.
Boom.
Spike's down.
2. A third one. The shotgun's not going to happen as he tries to hopscotch around the wall. Demon 1 can't make it count, and he knows the text is there. MIBR takes it back, and from game point, they take split 13-7. Oh, the teamwork. They're just setting up walls of pistols here to retake, but Icebox and Shenum fire back. Oh my God. Icebox, he does 4K for Icebox. Wakes up with the Red Bull clutch. Yeah, Reckoning invested in there, quite inside the site. Leviathan being thrown left and right with that.
Maybe Shenum or Cortezia. Yeah, definitely. I love that. Jeez. A 4K for Shenum.
MIBR with the kills come through. A comeback on map 2 and a 2-0 series to close out the day.